So, what do you do when you get unsolicited negative feedback on your yoga teaching? Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Fisher. I am a yoga teacher and yoga teacher mentor based in Richmond, Virginia. And I know it feels absolutely terrible when a student or a studio owner or a boss gives you unsolicited feedback and it's negative and it's about your yoga teaching. Doesn't feel great. So here are some ways that you can deal with that when it does happen for you in a way that supports you and helps you to grow as a teacher and also not crush your self-esteem and not crush your heart in the process. The first thing you want to do is feel your feelings when you're receiving the feedback. So that, you could feel angry, you could feel very defensive if you're receiving feedback, especially if you didn't ask for it, prickly, sad, mad. Notice all of those feelings and allow yourself to feel them. When you feel them, they will process right on through and you won't have to deal with them anymore. But if you don't feel those feelings, it will be very difficult to then have a more neutral experience of working with the feedback that you got. So first is feel your feelings. Let that take as long as it takes. So if you need a week before you can move into any other part of the feedback, that's fine. Let that be how it is. And you may need to feel your feelings with your therapist, your coach, your mentor, your friend, your spouse, your dog, a tree outside. Whatever helps you feel your feelings, I am so on board with that. Then, once you've felt your feelings and you're a little bit more spacious around the feedback, now you can take yourself through a series of questions that is designed to keep you supported and let you see if this feedback is something that you want to do anything with or not. The first question is very neutral. Is it true? You received feedback. Is what they said that you're doing? Are you doing that? Not is it right or wrong are you doing that? Just are you doing it? So if your student says something like, you always start class 5 minutes late and it's really frustrating, then you could step back and say, well, do I always start class 5 minutes late? Or does it just happen to be on the one day that she came that I started class 5 minutes late? So can you see what they're saying? Is it true? And that we want to get as close to a yes or no answer as possible and drop the judgment on yourself or on anyone else. That's self-care 101. You don't have to judge. It's just, am I doing this thing? And the next question is, am I worried about it? If I'm doing it, if the answer is yes, and I'm doing it, then am I worried about that I'm doing it? So in that example of the 5 minutes late, I personally don't like to start late. So if someone said that to me, I would say, I want to change that because I don't like it. But you might be a person who's like, I do that and I do it on purpose because I have these mothers that are coming in after preschool drop-off and they can't get here until 5 minutes late. So I give them that grace. That's different. So am I worried about it? If your answer is no, I'm not worried about it, then great. You're done. You don't have to worry about this feedback. It's like, yeah, I'm doing that. I'm not worried about it. I once got feedback that I messed up my rights and lefts a lot. I am not worried about that at all. I do pretty well. I'm not going to be so perfectionistic that I try to fix it. Not right now. So if your answer is yes, I am worried about it, I do want that to be different, then you've got two things going on. One is, yes, and then the answer is, I want to change. I want to change because what I'm doing is not conscious. That would be me starting the class 5 minutes late, not on purpose. So that means, I received this feedback. Am I doing it? Yes. Am I worried about it? Actually, yes. So I'm going to make a change based on this feedback. If the answer is I'm worried about it, yes, but I am doing it on purpose, then what you could do is educate your class. So it could be that the next time class starts and you're starting 5 minutes late, you say, I realize we're starting 5 minutes late. We do this to give grace to all of the preschool moms who are coming from down the street. I know that it makes it seem a little bit late, but plan for it in your schedule. This is how we start the class. You might be able to change things on the studio schedule if that was the example. But so what you have the power to do as the yoga teacher is sit up in the room, in the front of the room, and tell people why you are doing these things. If they're saying, you shouldn't do that, I want it to be different, blah, 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 and you feel strongly that this is how you want it to be, tell them why, educate them. They can either get on board with that or not, but at least they have a reason. They don't think you're just a clueless or not paying attention. So that's one of the things that you can do. So you've decided it's true, I'm worried about it, I'm either going to educate them or I'm going to make a personal change within myself. The next thing that you could do now is create an experiment around it. So you're going to educate people for the next 5 classes, say, about this thing that you're doing. Or you're going to make this change really conscious in your mind for the next 5 classes. And then reassess in 2 or 3 months. Come back to this feedback that you got and say, okay, well, am I still doing it? Do I still want to do it? And is it something I want to change? So what I love about this process is that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing you're doing wrong, right? Like, you do not have to be perfect. You are on a growing edge as a yoga teacher, and yoga teaching has the power to transform you. Not only your students, but you. You can transform. And part of that is being able to take in feedback and grow from it in a way that doesn't diminish you. It doesn't make you bad or wrong or a terrible teacher, because you're none of those things. You're a great teacher. You are not bad. You are lovely. And there's nothing wrong with you. And you can grow if you want to. Or you could say, I'm just not worried about it. I don't care. I'll let that go. One of the things I do want to caution about with feedback and working with feedback comes from Rachel Cook. She's the host of the Promote Yourself to CEO podcast. She's a great person. And she says, please do not run around trying to please all of your outliers. Don't try to please all of your outliers. There are always going to be a few people who are unhappy. Don't run around trying to please all those people all the time, taking in all of their feedback and always trying to change every little thing to make it just right and perfect for them. You're going to make yourself sick. It's not going to work, and you will get yourself out of integrity and out of the authenticity of your own stream. So yes, you can take in the feedback, but there are times when you say, I'm glad you gave me that feedback. I'm glad that you feel comfortable to give that to me, and I'm going to respectfully set it aside and continue on this path. And maybe there are reasons why. What I really hope that you get from this is that you can take feedback. It is possible. You don't have to just bristle and push away from it. It's possible to take it in and to grow from it only if you want to. It's your choice. And that whatever you're doing, wherever you are in your practice, you can love yourself through it. Love yourself through your teaching experience and your growth experience and your feedback experiences, and come out the other side feeling more confident possibly, and at the very least continuing to align with your truth, with your authenticity. Because that's what I think all of us need to do as yoga teachers, not from an egoic place, but from the deep truth of our own hearts. I hope this video is helpful for you. If you have questions, I love answering questions. Please send me a question by email. You'll find it on the end of this video, or send me a question in the comments below. And take care. Let me know how this goes. Be well, friends.